Today we're going to skip past the judge and go to the governor. Welcome to the Hideout, and today we're going to talk about something that's kind of a replacement for me, and we'll get to that shortly. But please click subscribe if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. Click the little ringy dingy so you get your notification. Click like and share it. Share with everybody else the good time we're having here at Sarge 1911. But today we're going to talk about the governor, the Smith Wesson Govenor. It is going to be, hell, it is the replacement to my Taurus Judge. I'm going to put a link down there so you can see my experience with the Judge and why I'm going to replace it. And then I think on a Wednesday soon, probably on a Wednesday soon, I'm going to lay them both side by side and let's do a side-by-side comparison, including the price or cost of this thing, and let you make an informed decision what's best for you at any particular time. But right now, let's get started, and I'm going to tell you right now, Smith & Wesson Govenor, they give me a nice cardboard box. I like that. Yes, I like the plastic boxes too. They're fine, but the truth is, put the money in the gun. Spend the money in the gun, not the containers. And you know, that's the way I feel about it. But I want to show you a couple more things that's interesting about this particular handgun before we get to it. It will shoot 410s, 45 long coat, and even 45 ACP. But you guys who know anything about shooting a 45 ACP in a revolver know you have to have clips. Sometimes some people call them, most of the time they're called moon clips, even though this one here is for 6 rounds. You can see where your 45 ACP connects into that little thing there. And then here's a 3-round one or a 2-round one, and this is why they call them moon clips. Let me get one out here. Take it out, where you get 2 rounds of 45 ACP in that thing, and then we slide that in the cylinder, and we don't have to have all 6. Hope you're seeing it there. All right, now, one of the interesting things that I think is, you know, ho-hum, I didn't get a freaking bicycle lock with this thing. What the hell? I didn't know bicycle lock, but I did get a freaking little key. Now these things come out a few years ago, and to me they're absolutely worthless. And I'm going to show you on the handgun in a little bit why or how or the brilliant idea they have for these damn things, because to me this little thing here probably cost a hell of a more money to make and then design and put in the handgun than any bicycle lock does. But we're going to get to that in a minute. So now let's get down to where the fun comes. Let's look at the Governor. I know they've been out for a while. You know, I'm a cheap ass somebody sometimes, depending on what I'm buying, and I went with the Judge at first because it's less expensive. The Governor costs a little bit more, but we're going to get into why. This is it. It is a handgun shotgun. Everyone knows it shoots a 410 shotgun shell, and it will rip the freaking doors down, and we're going to get to some of that later. Got the typical Smith & Wesson cylinder reaction there. You push it forward. Remember, the coats go the other way. Push that thing forward, and there you go. It's stuck. It's new. Spin that thing around. We've got a full guard over that rod. The guide rod is fully covered. It's not hanging out here just like this when it's closed, hanging down there. It's fully covered. It does come together nice and nice click there. Nice. Double action, single action, whatever you want to do. It's got just a black side on the front of it. And I'm going to use a term that somebody likes to share with me these days. This right here has got a side in here that's just been gully washed down through there. It's just a gully. It's not really much of a side, but you got to remember, we're shooting a shotgun is what we're doing. Now this is an aluminum alloy, but if you'll turn it around and look at the barrel, you see it's got a solid steel barrel down on the inside. So the thing weighs 39, 40 ounces, somewhere in there, 29, hell I don't know, 30 ounces. So it's like 30 ounces. So it weighs 30 ounces. It's light for its size. But it's got enough steel down here in the barrel end that I think it's gonna compensate for it. Nice rubber grip. Nice textured. It's not too soft, but it's good. I like it. Got a big trigger guard on it, really big. And one of the things this thing is going to have is 6 rounds. 6 rounds. So I can have 6 rounds of 410 shotgun shell in there and probably do all the damage I want to do. Now to me, this is probably one of the perfect nightstand guns. And why I'm saying that is, you know, the 12 gauge I have propped up in there in the corner, it's on the other side of the nightstand. I know all I got to do is move it, but you know, I'm walking through the house with the thing sticking out here. It's not full size, it's here. I've got enough firepower in this, I'm not going to go through this wall, this wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall, but yet I got plenty of firepower that I'm going to do what damage I need to be done. It is a shotgun, so I need, you know, all I got to do is kind of point down the hallway at the general direction, and I'm going to nail that son of a bitch right in the face or chest or wherever I need to go. I'm not going to miss. With, let's just say my 1911, I potentially could miss, and we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we hit what we're talking about. You know, you hear a little criticism sometimes about people shooting people inside their own homes with guns and stuff at night. Knock on wood, I don't see that happening at my house, just simply because everyone I know knows I have a freaking gun beside the bed. They know to knock on the door or freaking call. Anybody who doesn't know me, you ain't got no damn business in there, and you're probably gonna get the wrong end of some bitch. It's just that simple. So, I mean, it's not a big freaking deal. I don't know. Let's do a trigger pull on it. I don't know how well it's gonna pull off. You know, it being in that single action mode there, I'm not expecting anything brilliant, but it is a much lighter because it kind of deceives you when you're pulling it double action. Let's see what we get. I'm not going to spend all day on it because I'm going to go out and shoot. Get that on there. Ah, that was 3.9. That's pretty damn good. I like that. So with a single action mode, you can get it off. With a double action, you know, it is what it is. We're going to go out and shoot it. But now, before we do, I got to tell you about this little key. To me, I know someone thinks this is cute and booyah Smith & Wesson, but the truth of the matter is, it's probably a wasted expense. They probably see it as a way to get around the liability, but I just say throw the bicycle lock in there and then it's on the owner responsibility. There's a little keyhole right here on the left. You see it. Some of you guys are familiar with them. They've been out for a long time. The trouble is, a lot of people, hell, I don't know that anybody would ever use one. See a little hole right there? So what you do is you stick that key in there and lock it. You can turn it and lock it and the damn gun's locked up and won't do anything. Now what's your problem with that? It's locked up, it won't do anything. I've got to find this little key. Now, this would last a whole 10 hours, 10, 12 hours at my house before it is either I've misplaced it or Mrs. Sarge 1911 did her cleaning and the son bitch went in the trash, because you know that's nothing important. So anyway, it would have ended up in the trash and I would have had to go buy one of these things. You know, if I buy one, they're probably going to charge me 25 bucks when like a bicycle lock would have been fine and dandy. I'm kind of excited about it, especially, you know, my experience with the Judge was not a positive one. Like I said, we'll put the link down at the bottom and let you go see what it is. And then I think we'll do a little side by side because there is some physical characteristics that are very much different. And then, you know, besides the price, and we'll just lay them out there and point at one and say, look at this one here and then look at this one here, and then we'll go through that and let you make a good decision. But right now, I can't tell you whether I prefer this one or that one because I haven't fired this one. So let's go outside and load up some 410 in it and see if it'll go more of a boom, boom, boom instead of a bang, bang, bang. Okay, welcome to the range, and this afternoon we're out with this Smith & Wesson Govenor 410, 45 long Colt, 45 ACP, and we're going to give it a try. Now, one thing I didn't talk about inside barrel length, like 2 3/4 inch. The chamber is almost 3 inches, but it shoots a 2 3/4 inch shotgun shell. And let me just hold it up there so you can see the chamber length. It's just a little short of 3, so 2 3/4. What we're going to do You know, I'm going to put a link down to the Judge video, and this is going to give you a good indication, a good background story of why I'm shooting this Smith & Wesson. They're real similar, a little bit difference in price and some other things, and like I've talked about briefly, we'll do a side-by-side comparison. But one thing we want to do is I had some trouble with the Taurus Judge not wanting to fire. We're getting strikes on the primer, nothing's going off. You know, that's not worth a damn when it comes to self-defense, and that's what this thing is specifically designed for. So I'm going to go ahead and load it up with the same ammo. Show you what I'm shooting. Hornady Critical Defense. I'm going to put 6 rounds of this stuff in there, and we're going to fire and see what it does. Now, with the Taurus Judge, we had some problems with it not wanting to fire everything. So we're going to load this up. Some stout stuff. This has got like a slug and some, it's a mixture of this and that and everything else, so that you really got some knockdown power with it. And we're going to fire it up and see what we're going. You know, the thing is a little bit heavy, but you know, I think it's going to need to be a little bit heavy just simply because we've got the recoil on this thing. So give me just 1 second. I got to set these up here on my camera person here who forgot their earplugs, and we've got another pair, and we've got to have safety here at all times. Protect those precious little cute ears. So here we go. So we're going to fire it off at a double action first and see what we get with the Hornady Critical Defense. There we go. It fires. It's got some recoil to it. It's significant recoil. It's got some single action light trigger. It does do a job. I'll tell you what. There we go. That's 6. That's 6. Now, let me take these off in just a little bit. These are a little bit stiff coming out. We're not getting the full ejection real easy, and that's probably because of swelling of the brass. So let me turn it. Cylinder's open. It is safe, guys. All right, there we go. We got them to slide out so that brass swells in there just a little bit and makes them tight. All 6 rounds did fire. There's some recoil to it. You know, the truth is, you're shooting this thing down the hallway, somebody's gonna damn know. Now, I was shooting some cheaper ammo. This is a box of it. Some of this Winchester target load in the Taurus. It would not fire at all. So I'm gonna try a few rounds of that and see. But I think the Taurus, if I remember right, it didn't even fire all of the critical defense. So we may have a problem there. So let me get a full round of 6 rounds of this cheaper ammo. And let's load it up and see, because we're trying to get a fair evaluation. You know, I probably would not keep this on the bedside with 45 long coat, just simply because of the way the thing's designed. It's a shotgun. You know, I'm gonna shoot down the hallway, I wanna hit, and I have a better opportunity doing that with a shotgun though. But what if I wanna carry this thing for some kind of critter fixture, or even, I don't know, maybe I wanna shoot birdshot down the hallway instead of critical defense. And critical defense to practice with is gonna be really expensive. So maybe let's try some of this cheap ammo and see what happens. And we'll just see what it does, and see if the cheap ammo does any better than some of the other stuff. Let's just try it and see. So here we go. We're going to double action this. I'm telling you, it fired all 6 rounds of the Winchester ammo. Now, this says target rounds, but I'm going to tell you something that I'm quite interested in for target round. It's got a pretty good chunk of brass on the end of it. See that? So that's Winchester 2.5 inch max number 9 410 target load. It's got some big brass on it. Now I did also bring out some 410. Oh, that's 3 inch. Will not work. But just for, you know, shits and giggles, they say, let's go ahead and see if we can get one in there. And we talked about it not fitting, and I'm sure it's not going to fit. We get it down in there. Oh man, it will not fit. You can see how the shell casing just barely protrudes out of there. It will not fit. So just for the hell of it, I'm gonna fire 6 more rounds of this before we call it a day. It does got some recoil to it. It's been a while since I fired the Taurus. I'm gonna think just off the top of my head, the recoil on this one may be significantly higher than the others shooting the same rounds. Why, I don't know. It's got to be something to do with the weight of the pistol itself and maybe the pistol grip. So I don't know. We're gonna look further into that in the time being. Right now, we're just gonna shoot. So again, practice ammo, not expensive ammo, and let's just see. Let's try the little targets again. Ooh, it's a handful. Did I get everything out of there? Let me see if I got them all. They all seem to be unloading fine, and I don't count, and it fired all 6. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say I probably made a good decision by deciding to put away the Taurus, put away the Judge, and go with the Govenor. You know, anything the Judge says, the Govenor can veto, and that's what we've done today. This thing seems to shoot much better than the Judge. Performs better. It shoots expensive self-defense, critical defense ammo with Hornady. It's shooting the cheaper stuff that I can practice with, so I don't got to spend a lot of money practicing. This goes on the night table. But remember, we're going to have the side-by-side, so stay tuned, click subscribe, come back and see it. Until then, shoot safe and shoot straight. Hooah.